Darla Fisher first presented Building a Dream at Talk20 Hutch in January 2016. When we learned last week that a scheduled presenter couldn't be here tonight, we invited Darla back for a Talk20 Double Take. She's updated her presentation to reflect some of her experiences as principal at Lincoln Elementary School the last 2 years. Children growing up in poverty have many challenges to overcome and oftentimes do not have the chance to dream. As a mother, Darla always envisioned her children would work hard, study hard, and have a better life. As a community, how can we work together so that all our children have hopes and dreams for their future? Darla Fisher.
You may remember the story of Gary, the young man that many days would sleep in my class. However, when I decided to listen to his story, I learned that he lived with a single mom and a younger brother. His mom had 3 jobs, and he was responsible for taking care of his younger brother after school. One of his mom's jobs required her to work the evening shift, so oftentimes it was close to midnight before she would get home. He was always worried that she might not make it home. They lived in the projects in Fort Worth, so he would stay up to make sure that she made it home safely. My listening heart said, my immediate response was, how can I teach him when he has so many big real-life issues to deal with? But I also knew if I didn't hold him accountable for what he needed to learn, that there was no way he would get ahead in life. And I had to hold him accountable, expect great things, and assure him that there was hope. Let's fast forward 30 years. I'm now in my 3rd year as a principal of Lincoln Elementary School. I love my job. It is so rewarding. Don't get me wrong, it's the hardest job that I've ever done. You see, this school is full of Garys. You may remember in the mid-1990s, there was a study that was done that looked at how childhood abuse and neglect impacts a person's life, health, and well-being. This study looked at 10 different challenges that kids might face: abuse, neglect, domestic violence, those types of things, and they would track them according to their ACE scores. At Lincoln, we decided it was important for us to listen to our kids' stories. As we listened, we heard that our kids' average ACE score is 2. We know from research that if they have more than 4, they run high risk of being at risk, not finishing college and those types of things. Our kids, 20% of our kids have more than 4. However, we know that we had to give them hope. When we listen to their stories and we're able to provide them with safe, stable relationships, that we can make a difference for our kids. As our kids, we need to encourage people. We had to give our children hope. We had to teach them to dream. The cycle of poverty cannot be broken without hopes and dreams. One of our objectives at Lincoln is to help our kids learn to dream again. They had to be able to set goals and be able to create a plan to change their circumstances. This isn't always only true for our kids, it's true for our parents. A couple of years ago, a young mom came to my office and explained that she had to make a change for her family, that they were going to be moving out of state. 3 months later, she's back in my office. She said, I just didn't have the support that I thought that I would have, so we're back. At that time, I said to her, how can we support you? How can we support your family? She couldn't answer me. But I told her, I said, we're so glad that your family is back, and we are here to support you. Last year, this mom comes into my office again. This time, she's in tears because her kid has not made the best decisions. As I begin to listen to her story, I find out that she is scared for the safety of her and her family. They have downsized so that they could get all of their things into a bag so that they could leave quickly if they were ever to need to. While I listen to this story, this mom begins to tell me, all I really want is a place where I can hang a picture and it can stay there. For this represented stability for her and her family. This mom came to a Lincoln block party. She was able to meet people and listen to them and just have a good time and a free meal. Well, at the block party, she met several people. About a week later, she shows up in my office in tears, and she said, there's a couple that I'd really like to get in contact with, and I'd like to talk to them. Can you help me? I said, absolutely. And so I called that couple, and they were able to come, and they talked to her about 2 hours. She says to me, when she was talking about stability, she now has a job. She said, I never thought I'd be so proud of bricks in my front yard. And this represents that, where they've been able to do some renovations to the house and have these bricks in their front yard. Her child is now a role model at our school. One of the best ways that at school, we believe in the power of valuing our kids. We high five, we give hugs, we give lots of smiles. And this, you can see, is one morning that we were able to do that. We listen to their stories. One of the best ways that we can help our community, we can help our families, is by valuing them. When we value our kids, when we value our families, we're showing them hope. We show them that they're valuable. We show them that they're worthy. As this child writes, we become like family. We have to teach our children to be resilient. A child that's resilient feels that way when someone likes them, when someone questions them, when someone cares about them. Our kids need to know that there's someone they can trust that will listen to them. Someone needs to notice that our children are capable and that they can get things done. Hutchison, we need our children to dream. We need our families to dream. We need them to set goals and pursue those dreams. This will happen if our children believe that their world can be a better place. These are our kids. We have to give our children and families hope. We have to allow them to dream. The cycle of poverty cannot be broken when our children and our parents, or can be broken when our children and parents dream. They can set goals and they can create a plan to change these circumstances. Will you be that one adult that cares about a child, what they do in school, what they talk about, how they can make their lives better, the one that a child can trust, the one that tells a child, you know they are capable of fulfilling their dreams and becoming a success?